Hello everyone and welcome back to the shop. Actually, as a matter of fact, if you've ever seen my videos before, this isn't really my shop. This is my shop. And in fact, I had a toolbox sitting in here. Well, I even had it decorated. Still got it here. I've got my old Dominoil motor oil, unopened can. Not sure if that's worth anything, but hey, comment down below if you think it is. And I even have, right off to the corner, is my Corvette Stingray signs that people have given me over the years. That's got to make its way back into the shop. But anyways, today's video isn't about reminiscing. Today's video is actually going to be about wrenching on my 98 Yamaha Adventure Triple. So what we're going to do today is we're going to be putting this shock in place. So this is the rear shock. This actually comes out of an RX-1. And we're going to see if this fits, because we're also going to be installing a belt and about 100 of these. So if you want to see some of that and more, stick around. All right, going up. May as well make use of my lift while I got it. And of course, safety first. This is a little bit high for these jack stands, but it's better to have something than nothing. Well, I guess now it's time to answer the question on everyone's mind, or address the elephant in the room, I guess you would say, and that is, what is this exactly? Well, this here is a stud. This is a stud that you can use on a tire. It's designed for, well, these ones here in particular are designed for heavy equipment apparently. That's why the stud is a little bit flat. Like, this is actually a carbide tip and it's flattened. You can get them in different styles and different lengths. So long story short on this is, a few years back I found these online and I had a conversation with my dad about it, and I thought, I wonder if these are actually going to work. And then I managed to find these for a really good price. So I decided to buy some, and at the same time my dad bought some as well. I went with these ones because these were more aggressive on the side. I'm hoping that they're not going to pull out, but that's what we're going to try. So for a few bucks, you know, let's put these in. And they come with a pretty cool tool. So these actually hold inside. So rather than sit here and watch me do like 100 of these, because I think that's what I bought, is a 100 pack, we're going to skip forward to what the track looks like when it's completed. So this is the before, and this is the after. I mean, it looks pretty aggressive if you ask me, for just being something that you screw into the track. The pattern is, well, I just kind of went along with what the lugs were. And the reason I'm doing this, guys, is I know it's not going to be a complete replacement for a stud that goes through the track and it's bolted through the back. But it's mostly for safety, because if you guys have ever run a snowmobile down an icy trail and you go to stop suddenly, it slides. It does not stop. This was hopefully going to give me something of grip. And the reason I went with these is because these are actually made for a forklift. I mean, if they can withstand the weight of a forklift, I'm hoping they can do okay on my snowmobile track. And next up, we've got the shock. So we're going to try and remove it without having to remove the skid. I mean, there's only 2 bolts, one at the front, of course, one at the back on the top. But hopefully they come out nice and easy and the whole thing will slide out. This one here happens to be completely dead. I mean, check this out. Bouncy, 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 bouncy. And I did do some measurements before going too far to make sure that, yes, in fact, this is going to fit, at least lengthwise. I mean, it's the same length. And from what I can tell, this is a pretty popular swap. A lot of people have been putting in RX-1 shocks into Ventures and older VMAX models. So let's see if this actually works out. All right, let's break this free. There we go. Now hopefully, since this thing's up in the air, there won't be too much pressure on this. Yeah, see, this bolt's coming out real nice. But of course I throw anti-seize compound on just about everything. when it comes to at least snowmobiles or anything that works outside. So that usually helps me in the long run. Come on. There we go. I can see this one being kind of tough. That's quite the spot. We'll make it happen. We will rectify it. That's my new word. Rectify. Oh yeah, look at that. That pushed right through. Same as the other side, so at least there's that. Okay. There's one bolt. And let's see. This is probably going to come out in a couple of pieces here. Let's take a look at the stack up. I got a video to go by, which is great, but if you guys don't, maybe take a picture of this, because there is a couple of spacers on either side, and this is adjustable. In case you guys didn't know, there's actually a cam in here with a gear, and you can raise and lower the shock, kind of like what I'm doing now. Lower means more stiffness, and then higher means lower stiffness. So just be aware of that. Ooh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. That was maybe too easy. That's a win. Awesome. Well, they weren't lying. I mean, they look really, really similar to me. So this one here is the one I just pulled out. You can tell because I still have all of the little doodads in it. This is the RX-1 shock. One difference I see is that the coils are spaced out a little bit differently. I have no idea what the valving is going to be like for the shock itself, but as you saw, as long as it doesn't bounce around too much and rides decent, I'll be happy with that. And even the adjuster seems to be very similar here. So this should fit perfectly. If anything, it's actually a little bit smaller in diameter, which will probably help even better. Alright, so we got everything lubed up here, and let's see if we can do the reverse. I think I had done this one at the top. Let's get that lined up. Alright, there we go. That wasn't so bad. Let's get those washers in place. That should slide right in, hopefully. Yeah. Hey, not too bad at all. Oh, aha. I win. Rectified. Well, let's start with the fun one first. And then I wonder why I'm sore by the end of the day. That's nice and tight. Let's tighten up this one. And it's at the same place that it was, so it should be a good reference point for what it looks like when we do our bouncy test. And of course, while I'm in here, may as well take a look at my idlers. So that one's okay. And they're starting to sound a little bit dry, but not too bad. These are nice. Ooh, those are really nice. These up here. So I actually went over these idlers not too long ago. Well, actually it was a little while ago, but I just haven't put much mileage on it. And of course, let me go get my grease gun, because you guys know, if you've seen my videos, I'm a huge fan of grease, and I'm going to go over this whole thing, make sure that it's all greased up and ready to go. So there's quite a few fittings on this machine. So there's a few at the back, there's a few at the front, of course, and everywhere in between. So I'm just going to hit them all up, and we're going to move on to the final part of the video. Alright guys, what do you think is going to be? You think that shock made a difference? I hope so, because I wasn't able to bench test the other one, but let's find out. Oh yeah, look at that. Like it should. That's mint. It's going to ride so much better. And if you guys have ever ridden a machine with a bad shock like that, not only is it bouncy, is you can't get any traction. You can't even make your way through some mildly deep snow, let alone like really deep snow. Mildly, no, you can't even do it. And finally guys, we're going to replace the drive belt on this machine. I've actually had this drive belt on here for I think 2 or 3 seasons now. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, to be quite frank. It's just I like to replace them because you never know when they're about ready to explode. And I've seen all sorts of belts just kind of out of nowhere, just boom, especially if you're at a higher speed down the lake. So it's always good to have another one, and may as well start the season fresh with a good one, like a good new one. This is an OEM belt for this machine. The spare on this is actually also an OEM belt, and the one that's on there is OEM. So if that means anything to you, not everybody likes to run OEM when it comes to belts, but for my Yamahas, it's the belt that I've actually had the best luck with. I've spent lots of money on expensive, aftermarket belts. I don't even know the brand anymore, but I've tried them all, and I haven't had very much luck with it. So on this, really quick, you just have to squeeze the secondary, open it up, and do the replacement. You can actually do this in real time in probably about 30 seconds. It's easier if you have a brake, like a park brake, but for some reason mine it came without one. It's been completely ripped off. So, all right, so just all you have to do is push out the inner sheave towards the back, and you just kind of give it a twist like this, and then you slide the other one off. Just kind of like that. And then that is now going to be my spare. And then we put the new one on, however, making sure the arrows are facing the front, we just do the opposite. That goes around the primary. And then we're going to open up the secondary. And like I said, this is easier done if you have a brake, because then you're not trying to move the machine at the same time. And then that just comes on like that. Then you work the belt up to the top so that you're not taking off in the weird ratio, or like a higher gear, so to speak. And that's it. Put the cover down, and we are ready to rock. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I got a new shock, or new to me shock, in the machine. I can't wait to go try it. Can't wait to see if those studs are going to do anything. And of course, as always, if you haven't considered subscribing, please consider doing so. And as always, I will see you all in the next video.